Shalom, friends. It is I, your friendly neighborhood Rabbi John Carrier. We are counting the Omer together at PJTC. I am super glad that you have joined us because tonight, after sundown, we're going to count day number 35 of the Omer. You know what that means? That means we've been counting the Omer together for 5 weeks. Can you believe it? It also means that we are wrapping up the week discussing the divine and human attribute of Hod. We've been talking all week about the attribute of Hod reflecting our capacity for acceptance of other people, acceptance of a situation, acceptance of ourselves, sometimes the hardest thing to accept, and also in Hasidic thought, Hod's connection to prayer. I shared with you my favorite story about Hod early in the week. We've talked about role models you've had, people you've seen give examples of this attribute. Maybe there's a time where you exhibited this attribute in a way that you're really proud of. We've talked about how pivotal it's been in Jewish history and why it's so important today. As we're wrapping up the week, and if you've been doing this with us the whole time or even a little bit of the time and been paying attention, you know that today we are going to make a Hod plan. So that's the question of the day. What's your Hod plan? What I'd like you to do right now is think about a way that you could increase the role of acceptance in your life. How can you grow in this divine attribute? What do you need to accept? And if this is something you're struggling with, that there's a lot of stuff around you that's frankly unacceptable and you don't know where to start, do what we've done this whole time and start small. Maybe there's one little thing that's really been annoying you and you've been very patient with it, but you're waiting for it to end and you wish it wasn't there and it's getting on your nerves. It's keeping you awake at night. Maybe it's not a thing. Maybe it's a person or a particular bad habit that somebody has that you're close to. They're like, I really love that person, but they should really start closing their mouth when they chew. Maybe it's a particular situation that's been bothering you, but you know you can't change it and it's time to just accept it and move on. I want you to think about the smallest viable example you can and commit to accepting it. Alternatively, since we've been talking about Jewish prayer this week, maybe this week is the week to commit to praying a little bit more. Maybe you're the kind of person who's found Jewish prayer to be daunting or foreign sounding, or there's just so much of it. I know this is true for me when I started learning more about Jewish prayer and all that there was to it and all the words you had to say in the right order and all the rules. That stuff was overwhelming. And I was concerned that if I did like one little thing wrong, the rest of it wouldn't count, or it would just be a disgrace to God, God forbid. And if I'm going to get that little piece wrong and that's going to undo the whole thing, why start? Maybe you just need me to tell you that that's okay. Start small. Start with one prayer. Start with one blessing on a Friday night or a Saturday morning. Start with waking up in the morning and say, thanks, God, for letting me wake up today. That's pretty cool. That's actually a great gift. And if you're still struggling with what to say, I can't say it better than Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, who said you should be free to talk to God like you talk to a friend. So if that makes it easier for you to get started, take advantage of this day, the end of the week of Hod, and get started. What have you got to lose? Thank you so much for learning about Hod this week, learning about all the attributes in prior weeks. Can't wait to talk about Yesod next week. Curious? You're just going to have to stick around and find out what that means. But first, don't forget to count day number 35 of the Omer after sundown tonight, and I can't wait to see you on day 36. Until then, friends, shalom.